talk to me. What's with all the honey, like, barrel finishes?
So it's...
honey cask finishes.
So it's new.
It's new. That's like been the new hotness.
The long and the short of the answer, it's new. Just like years ago when Amburana first came out.
Everyone was doing it.
Everybody had an Amburana finish.
Sure.
You know, and then after a while, everybody does it, and then some people do it good. And some people don't.
And everyone who doesn't do it as well, they stop making it.
And then they just, you know, so they did the same thing with like maple staves and maple syrup barrels. And so the honey, so if people don't know, so what they do is they take used bourbon barrels, right?
Mm-hmm. Dump a whole mess
Dump a shit ton of honey in there, right? Just like our down in Round Rock, we have a barrel-aged honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they let it sit for however long they want. They dump the honey out.
And presumably then they sell the honey as barrel-aged honey.
Then they sell the honey as barrel-aged honey, right? Which is cool. I mean, they do it with wine too, right? Mm-hmm. You know, bourbon barrel-aged wine. And then they take the used barrel and give it back to the distillery. And then they've now, this isn't the first, but there's other ones that are now aging bourbon and rye and whatnot in used honey barrels. Now, if you watch, I don't know what the heck. Oh, we didn't do a review on it, but we've talked about the RD1 maple, where sometimes it can be just too much, overwhelming,
especially with like maple barrels, for example.
Well, but they
or maple syrup.
Yeah, but they do the same thing with honey. Now, this is Penelope. This is their Rio. So if you don't know, Penelope, they get their whiskey from MGP
because they're owned by MGP.
Because MGP bought them out. So they get good whiskey from MGP. This is an MGP bourbon. They don't say which percentage of rye is it or any of that. It's not a single barrels, but yeah. So they take their MGP and then they age them in honey casks and Amburana casks. And then once they're aged to the way they like it, then they'll then blend it together.
And then add a little bit of water to get it down to 98 proof.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that I've seen. So we did a review on the Havana.
Yes, which was a store pick.
That's what I was getting at. So that was a store pick at almost cask strength, and it was phenomenal. Now I've seen other people talk about the regular offering, and a lot of people are saying it's a little too sweet, which makes sense because if it's proof down, you know, the
sweet notes
they rise. Yeah,
because those are what remain as you get rid of the barrel.
As you get rid of the ethanol.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we just opened this right now, just poured it in here.
It smells pretty funky.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting the cinnamon from the Amburana.
It's like honey drizzle over like cinnamon toast crunch. Pretty wild. And that's pretty much all I'm getting. I'm not getting a whole lot of bourbon. It's just...
It smells like that.
Yeah, but it's almost the honey too. It's almost like a dank, like wildflower honey. Not like the crappy
processed honey.
Yeah, not like that crappy stuff, but like if you got like
that's some real deal.
Like honey. A real wildflower honey from like a beekeeper somewhere.
Wait, hang on.
Holding out on a guy. I wondered where that went.
It's for emergencies.
Yeah. You only got 84 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, like that?
Yeah, like that. So that came from
from my friend's ranch. And that's like some wild honey.
Yeah. And now go back and smell it and you'll definitely pick up now. Like it.
Good note.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, let's not waste any more time.
Let's try it. See what we think.
It'd be better at cask strength.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
It's still good.
It's quite good, actually.
Yeah. I tell you what, it's throwing my brain for a loop.
Yeah.
Because I had enough Amburana.
Right?
And the cinnamon toast crunch is just a common note. But that honey mixed in with it, especially like the wildflower honey or whatever, that's like something I've never drank before.
As unlike anything I've ever drank.
That's wild.
It's not too sweet. I don't find it too sweet.
I don't find it terribly sweet because I think at least would you say they proved this?
98.
It's 98.
On the retro, I definitely get a lot of the honey. Like that's like however you would describe like a thick, unprocessed honey.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty crazy, isn't it?
It's impressive that they can make whiskey smell and taste like this.
Yeah.
I've always been impressed by what they do over at Penelope.
Mm-hmm. And this is one of those, you know, if you're going into it thinking you're drinking regular bourbon, boy, it's not that. But it is unique. It is very.
Although there is still a bit of the you know, proof and like the mid to late palate. I'm glad they didn't proof it down.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go lower than 98. You know, but they chose 98 because I know they had it at 105. I know they had it at 100. They went to 98. I'm sure they went down from there too, and they just came back and they're like 98's that's what we're looking at to get out to the public.
Yes.
Now these are still kind of hard to find.
Oh, the circumstances that led to you getting this bottle were quite funny.
Yeah, tell the story.
Well, we were down at a new liquor store at a local chain here in Austin that we had never visited before. We were goofing off per usual, and whilst we were in the store, the shopkeeper, she put this bottle up on the really expensive cabinet, and this kid lit up like a you know what in a candy store.
Buddy,
and we ran over and grabbed it.
I've been hearing about Penelope Rio for years, and we never got it at the store. I've never seen the bottle.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what it was, and people that, you know, they like it. So obviously this isn't the first batch that they did. This is, you know, many years later, or at least a few years later since I've heard of it. But yeah, it's super interesting. Very different though.
Very different. Very different. I don't think there's anything else in your collection that tastes like this.
No, it's wild. Ooh. Because you're gonna get that's the cinnamon, like the Amberana cinnamon, which is different than like a cinnamon red hots or those cinnamon candies.
It makes for a very interesting nose and palate because it's like the cinnamon gives way to the honey. Mm-hmm. The cinnamon hits you, then very quickly gets out of the way.
It's weird how well they play together. Like I wouldn't have thought of honey barrels and Amberana, but it makes sense, I guess. But shit, this is pretty damn good. I'm glad we got it.
Now I want to see what it tastes like at cast strength.
Boy, if we get a store pick of this, that'd be pretty wild.
I might fall over.
Yeah.
Might faint.
But yeah, very, very interesting. So if somebody's going to find this bottle and see it.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
How much did you spend?
Is it 100?
Just about.
90 something?
Between 80 and 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's expensive.
But,
holy goodness.
Just, so let me preface it by saying this. If you're just kind of new into bourbon, or you're kind of getting started and, you know, you're getting the itch to chase bottles because you see every knucklehead on the YouTubes talking about stuff that they like. This really isn't going to be like a beginner whiskey.
I wouldn't even call it like, because when you're looking for bourbon, especially, like you're probably seeking a pretty traditional bourbon, and then you want to explore traditional bourbon before you start to get into new and innovative ways to mess with that. Yeah, this is going to be more, we've talked about it before, like more nerd type whiskey. Mm-hmm. Like it's, like we like it, but I'm a whiskey dork. Like, well, it's like, I like the new stuff that's coming out. I like them doing crazy finishes and using wild mash bills and stuff. That to me is cool. But if you're just, you know, if you're a year into it, you know, if you see it and you want to buy it, hell, buy it. Buy it, but I would hold off on tasting it because this, if you had this really early in your palate development, it would be too much too fast. Yeah. Like, I work in clothes, as you might be able to tell. I don't, as you might be able to tell. And I talk about this concept all the time. You don't want to do too much too fast. Yeah. Because like you could have a blue and silver pinstripe suit from the 90s. Just, idea that came off the top of my head. That's probably going to be a little advanced for a guy who's going from, a polo and slacks.
You look like me. Like, dude, you just need a basic suit.
You're getting charcoal gray, buddy.
Yeah.
You gotta ease into it.
And I'd be happy with that,
and
too.
In that comparison, it's like you're getting Kentucky straight bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to explore how it can be done well. Ideally, you can also see how it can be done not so well.
Mm-hmm.
You get the whole range of that, and it's like, okay, now that you've seen that, now that you have the basics down, Amberana cask.
Yeah, then start goofing off and start picking some different things. I mean, we did a whole thing on Lasso Motel just because if you've never had an Amberana or an Naranja or the Tokaji or whatever, if you've never tasted that and you really want to see what the shit tastes like, they do a great job of that.
They do.
And then once you kind of get used to that and you understand, then when you come into something like this Rio, because if I hadn't had really good Amberana stuff before, and I tried that, I'm like, it would be a little weird.
No, yeah, because
what are they doing?
You wouldn't have the perspective or the vocabulary to understand it.
Right.
It's like with the short barrel After Swarm, which I'm going to keep teasing until we review it, and I'm probably going to keep talking about it because, good lord, that was an incredible pour you gave me last night.
Yeah.
If you didn't already know about 95.5 rye, that'd be way too much.
It'd be a little different, yeah. Well, we've covered this in our rye series that we did.
Yes.
Not all rye is created equal. There's different types of rye. There's different mash bills of rye. So just because you had one rye that you don't like, which I got this a lot at the store, like, I don't like rye. I'm like, well, what'd you have?
Which rye did you have?
And then almost always had a 95.5 rye.
That's going too
and
hard.
They were coming from bourbon. I'm like, oh, that's where you messed up. You went from 0 to pretty much the max you can do. I mean, we've got a couple hundred, like Woodinville, that's 100% rye, but
usually you have to seek that out.
That's a big jump.
I could see someone accidentally getting a 95.5 rye.
Yeah, because you just see rye whiskey and you're like, oh, I'll just try a rye. But if you're not a dork like me and you don't know that, oh, there's Kentucky ryes, there's Maryland ryes, there's Pennsylvania ryes, and they're all different. And there's 95.5 ryes, and yeah, you can go too far. This is great if you have experience with, I don't even think you need experience with honey casks.
No, because the honey cask is, how would I describe that? It's not as prone to failure. It is prone to being too sweet sometimes, but that's usually it.
So, and I think that's where they did a good job with this.
They did a very good job.
Because they're playing the honey off the Amberana. Because Amberana is very cinnamon spicy, right?
Yes.
And that honey just kind of coats it and tamps it down a little.
Sugar and spice.
Yeah, a little sugar and spice.